this isn't particularly an episode of anything, but it could be. It could be the start of an episode or a series where Iain explains video games to Luke because Luke doesn't have the time to play them, or hasn't got around to purchasing it yet, or doesn't know whether he should purchase it yet. So, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the new one, not the one that came out on the Xbox 360, has recently come out.
Yep.
And if any of you followers of the channel, you would see Iain doing his gameplay footage of the first few levels. And I'm on the fence whether I should get it or not. So, Iain,
Okay.
should I be purchasing Modern Warfare 2 for the Xbox Series X?
I would say if you're a fan of first-person shooters, then you probably should.
Yeah,
because it's got realistic gunplay in a sense, like compared to Halo and Overwatch and Apex Legends. In the UK, it's priced on the Xbox store at £70 or £100. Why you'd ever pay the £100 version though? Because all you get is some extra characters to play in multiplayer. Like,
it's £70.
yeah, I had a voucher from work, which is why I bought it.
I can't get my head around that. £70.
But all digital games are expensive compared to like physical.
How much is it if you bought it physical?
I think it's like Amazon. I think it's 60. Tesco. I think it's between 50 and 60. It's the price of games at the moment. Like PlayStation games are around £70.
That's mental. It's like the
Yeah.
N64 games all over again.
Yeah. So the price of games, especially for ones like Modern Warfare and FIFA, where they'll know people will buy it regardless, so they can just charge basically what they want for it. So yeah, I pre-ordered it on digitally through Xbox, Xbox Series X. So I managed to get the campaign a week early. There are 17 missions in total for the campaign, and they vary in what you do in them. So in a usual first-person shooter, it'd be like level, go from point A to point B, shoot anything, maybe like activate something, and then run back. Blah blah blah. On this one, it's actually the campaign is really good. I've seen some people say they didn't enjoy it, but I've recently just finished it. Friday, I think I finished the last mission.
Does it follow the same like sort of story as the original Modern Warfare 2? Like, does it go through? Do you have like that airport level? Do you have
No,
or is it completely different?
It's because the Modern Warfare from 2019 was like a reboot of the franchise, so it has a lot of the characters from the original trilogy, and it references some characters from the original trilogy, like some of the villains, but it's like a brand new story.
Okay.
So this one's a follow-up to that. Pretty early on, though, you can kind of guess what's going to happen. Because basically, what are they called? Alcatar or something. They have missiles from America. So America have been supplying them missiles, and then you find them, and you're like, "Oh, this missile's got an American flag," and then you report back to base, and the American guy's like, "Destroy them. You can't find out more information." And it's like, well, obviously America are behind it then. Clearly. But yeah, in terms of like the levels, the first ones, if you've watched our previous videos, you saw the first three. They're not massively long. But there's a level where you do a car chase. So you have to, one of your people have been kidnapped, and you have to like rescue them. So you drive along a highway. You have to jump from car to car, and like lean out and shoot enemies, which is quite fun and different.
Like the Matrix.
Yeah, and there's a really good episode, a really good mission.
That was a really good episode.
Yeah, quite late on, called Alone, where you end up in a town in Mexico, and it's at night, and you're being hunted by the enemy, but you've got no gun or anything, so you have to stealthily make it out of the town by finding supplies to make like Molotovs and tear gas and shanks and stuff. Which is really good. Like trying to, I mean, you can steal so you can steal the enemy's guns when you kill them, but they don't
Yeah.
always have a lot of ammo. But yeah, that was really good. That took me a while to complete that one though, because I just kept getting spotted, and then even though I'd kill the enemies that were following me, like they'd alert more. Um, there's a tank fight where you have to take down a tank with a C4. There's one where you have to break people out of prison. So there are a lot of different variations in the missions that you do.
So it's worth it for the single player campaign alone.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's worth the price for the single player campaign alone, because it's not. If you do it without watching the cutscenes, it's like a Metal Gear Solid game. You can finish it in a few hours.
Oh, okay. So it's not like a Golden Eye. Such an old reference, but it's what I know best. It's not like a Golden Eye where you've got like a lot of levels and you can redo the level on a different difficulty and it
You
changes
can
the
redo
level.
the yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, there's replayability. There's four
yeah,
difficulties. So there's easy, which you'd do it on,
yep,
and then normal, hard, and then like veteran.
yeah. Does it
Um,
change the actual content of the level, or does it just make the enemies more
it just
difficult?
makes the enemies more difficult, less ammo,
Okay.
less health. So there is replayability, especially because on old Call of Duties you'd get achievements. So if you're an achievement hunter, you'd get an achievement for completing like the first two levels. Then you'd get an achievement for completing the second two levels. But on
Yeah.
this one, the achievements are for completing the game on hard, and there's just little challenges to do in the levels. So the level where you're doing the car chase, there's two achievements, one for swapping cars 5 times, and one for using the original car you get in, like the whole way. So
Oh,
obviously you have to do that level at
do the
least
level
twice.
twice to get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um. So yeah, like I think it's about 5-6 hours like worth of gameplay.
That's not bad for me though, because I don't have a lot of time, so it doesn't need to be overly long for me to enjoy.
No, and it does set up for a third. But now that Call of Duties are on a 2 year cycle, what's that going to be like another 6 years?
Oh, what? Because they're doing.
They're because Warzone's been so successful, but
Yeah.
the last Warzone was butchered when they integrated the new Call of Duty into it. I think they're
Yeah.
keeping each Call of Duty now 2 years, so there won't be another Call of Duty till 2024
Okay.
because they'll just keep updating Warzone and I guess put more maps into this one to keep it alive for those 2 years.
Yeah. That
Which
makes me more inclined to buy it because I don't
yeah,
like the idea of buying a game and then it being in the bargain bin a year later.
yeah. So I only ever buy the Infinity Ward games anyway, so all the Modern Warfares.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't never played any Cold War games or Black Ops games or anything like that. So yeah, in terms of single player, I think it's definitely worth it if you like your action first person, like because it's not massively on rails either. Like a lot of not necessarily on rails, but a lot of first person shooters you have to follow a set
Set way to go.
route.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the same in one respect, but the mission I was mentioning about where you're it's called Alone, the mission
Yeah.
where you're alone in the town. You can try and get to point A to point B, but there's numerous different routes you can take. So you can go the safest route, or if you get seen, you can jump out of a window of one building and run across the street, go into another building, and try and like find a way out
Okay.
that way. And then there's another
What?
mission where you're a sniper. Did you ever play Call of Duty 4, the campaign?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the
Modern
mission,
Warfare One.
yeah, so the mission where
Yeah.
you're in the ghillie suit and you have to like
Hmm.
go through the grass. So there's a mission like
Yeah.
that, which for some part of it, it's like hand holding. So you basically get told when to do this and when to do that. But later on in the mission, you're essentially on your own. So you have to survey the camp, find the people to eliminate with your sniper rifle. Then you have to go in on your own to like clear all the rooms, and you'll just have someone on the hill telling you like, "Oh, there's so many people in this room. You can either go in through the vents or you can flush them out with a smoke grenade." So it's kind of like gives you a bit more,
You've got some
indi-
options.
yeah, gives you a bit more individuality to the levels, I guess. Yeah,
I was going to ask you about the multiplayer player side of things. Does
okay.
it have its own multiplayer, or is it integrated with Warzone? How does that side
Well,
of stuff work?
Warzone's not been released yet,
Okay.
so it is integrated, I think, in the fact that the weapons that you unlock in the multiplayer can be used in Warzone.
So it has its own normal like team deathmatch
Yeah,
multiplayer.
yeah. So it's
Okay.
got multiplayer. There's 6v6 game modes, which are the usual ones like team deathmatch, domination,
Yeah.
hard points, and then you've got ground war and invasion, which are like 32 against 32. So they're like more battlefield esque
Yeah.
on bigger maps. Um, on multiplayer, I don't know how many. I don't think I've done all the maps. I think there are. Just get my list up. 13 maps, multiplayer maps.
Are they
Um,
all new maps or any of them
they
like
are all new
older
maps.
maps?
They'll probably release old maps like later on in its life cycle, but at the moment they're all new. Um, some of them are good. There's one that I absolutely hate. It's called Albagra Fortress, and if you're doing, I've only ever,
Albagra.
yeah, I've only ever played at domination. So you have 3 flags, one at each spawn, and then one in the middle.
Yeah.
So if you spawn at flag A, you've got the advantage because you've got like 3 different routes that you can get away from your spawn.
Hmm.
But if you spawn at flag C, you're basically a sitting duck because flag A have the side with all the high windows, so people can just get into the windows and camp the doors that you
Yeah.
get out of your spawn from. So
Oh, and just completely tear you apart.
yeah, basically, because you'll be like, oh, I'll run through here, and then the minute you show your head, someone's just sniped you or just pummeled you with bullets, and it's like, oh, I'll try the
So
other.
irritating.
Yeah, I'll try the other door, and it's like, nope, can't go that way either. But other than that, the other levels are really good. So you got one set in an embassy, one in a farm, one in a Formula One Grand Prix paddock, like the pit lane.
Oh, was that on the demo they released to play?
Possibly, yeah.
Oh, you didn't play that, did you?
I played the
You
beta,
didn't,
yeah.
did you? Oh,
Yeah.
you just didn't have it early, did
There
you?
is one on the beta that they haven't put in the full game.
Oh, which one's that?
Oh, I can't remember what it was, but I think they removed it because the building or the area that it was based on didn't want to be associated with the game.
Oh,
So they
weird,
removed it.
bizarre.
I don't know what map it was. It's
Hopefully, it
not.
was the one that's outside with sort of like the limestone building stuff because that level was irritating.
No, I think that was still in.
Damn it.
But the gunplay is really good on it. They've reduced the time to kill from the previous game, so you die a bit quicker, which I
Yeah.
think makes it a more faster paced action like games. Because rather
You
than
know me. I like License to Kill on GoldenEye, so
yeah, so rather than like shooting at someone and then managing to run around the corner and then
yeah, that's irritating.
you have to chase them and blah blah blah, it's just a bit
Yeah.
quicker. They've removed a lot of the what I find annoying. It's very hit and miss whether you find them annoying gameplay mechanics. So on Warzone and Modern Warfare, you could slide cancel, which basically means you sprint, slide, cancel your slide, and then you've got your sprint back. So you don't
Oh,
have to
okay.
wait for your like energy to.
Yeah.
And people just abuse it. So they've removed that. There's still a few issues that I don't like about it. Like if you're shooting at someone who's trying to snipe you, they can still somehow get a headshot, even though you're pelting them with bullets.
Yeah, it should
Like,
knock. I think when you if you've got your sniper rifle scope and you're scoped in and you get shot, I think it should do what it does on Halo and it knock you out of your
yeah,
being zoomed, so you have to
yeah.
zoom back in. Yeah.
Um, people that what they call bunny hopping, where they just literally jump constantly, is annoying because it doesn't hinder your accuracy. Even though if I held a gun in real life and tried to jump and shoot, I'd probably not be very good at it.
No.
But no, the game itself is really good. The weapon unlock system is really bad though.
Is
So
it? How does it work? Can you pay real money to unlock stuff faster?
you
Is it
can
one of
pay
those
for like
games?
XP tokens. So you get like you can pay to get double
Oh,
XP
okay.
for a limited
Yeah.
time. Um, but it's you used to just level up say you go from like level 1 to 50, and then at
Hmm.
level 2 you'd unlock a gun, at level 5 you'd unlock a gun.
Yeah.
This time each gun has its own level, and you unlock other guns by leveling up other guns to a certain level.
Oh.
So to get a really good submachine gun, you have to reuse a really rubbish gun, get that to level 15 or whatever, then use another gun once that's unlocked, get that to level whatever, and then you unlock the third gun.
I think that's
But
one thing that does irritate me about a lot of modern games. They, to me, they feel overly complicated and convoluted. Like I don't know what I'm doing half the time in the menu, and there's all these different options and
oh
stuff, which is
yeah,
great, but it's just like overwhelming, and also it feels like it's just there just for like filler. It's like why can't stuff worked fine when it was like you level up and then it says you go from level 1 to level 2. Congratulations, you've unlocked this new gun, this new perk. Would you like to equip it? Yes or no?
yeah. There
Like,
is there is a lot to, because you can edit your gun. No, put attachments on your gun.
yeah,
You, but it's not as simple as just putting a silencer on. There's like different silencers that do different increases and decreases on like your gun. So yeah, then have to choose the right one to go with like the right barrel on your gun, to go with the right scope or whatever. And it's just, I would have just liked a more simpler version. But
yeah,
having said that, I think the reason they've done it is because on Modern Warfare and Warzone, people were just using the same gun because they found the gun that was best, and then they wouldn't deviate from it.
okay.
So they would find that like 70% of players was using a certain gun, whereas at least this way you have to try out the guns to see if you actually like them. So hopefully it would give more variety.
Mm,
But
I just
on the flip side of that, you get all these people that just worship streamers, and if a streamer tells you to use a certain gun in a certain way, everyone's just going to jump on it again. So
I I think the thing that I find irritating if I've played a previous game in a series, so the last obviously Call of Duty I played was Modern Warfare 2, the original one,
yeah,
and I had a particular setup that I liked to use to play. So when I was playing the beta for the new Modern Warfare 2, because I couldn't use that particular setup, I know it was annoying because I like to use a gun that's like a single shot gun.
oh yeah,
So I used to use the FAL gun, which is like a
yep,
single
yeah,
thing with the scope on it. That's not like a sniper scope, but it gives you a slight zoom.
yeah.
And then I'd use the claymores. So I'd always set myself up on a nice position,
Ah yes,
put
with
my
your
claymores down.
tent campfire.
Yeah, and then as people would run past, I'd shoot them in the face, and I enjoyed that. But to get that set up, I'm gonna have to play through and use all these different weapons and stuff first before I can get to the game to a point where I can play it how I want to
Well,
play it, which is
yes
irritating.
and no. So you do get a weapon unlocked, or a weapon or two unlocked in each weapon category.
Yeah.
So you would have a single fire gun unlocked from the start, but there's like
Okay.
four. There's four of them, so I imagine the better ones unlock later on.
Yeah.
But you do get to choose one from the start.
Okay, that's not so bad then.
It's still quite toxic, the community on Call of Duty, though. So
What do you mean?
you still get people being racist, homophobic down the mic.
I find that funny though. When people get so irate, they're like shouting obscenities at you. You just think
It's
this is
pathetic.
hilarious. You're
It's
so wound up by this game that
yeah.
like I'm having this much of an effect on your life.
It's it's one of those games like back before Call of Duty got big. You could play an online game and have fun.
Yeah.
Like you'd all have a laugh. Like Halo 3, Gears of War, you'd all have a laugh. If you killed someone in the lobby afterwards, you'd be like, "Ha ha, got you, ha," and they're just like banter. But now it's just everyone is so competitive. You can't. I mean, you can play it for fun,
Yeah.
but if you try and play it for fun, the way people play it so competitively just takes the fun out of it. So you have to feel like you're constantly trying. You can't just relax and play it. Like
Uh,
I have two modes of sitting when I play video games. I'll either sit back and just chill and vibe with the game. Like if I'm playing a single player game, I'll just relax. But if I'm playing a multiplayer game, I have to sit forward with my arms on my knees, just because you have to like concentrate. I don't know. I don't have enough friends to play this with, so I'm always just by myself in random people's like lobbies.
So you need me to get it,
Well,
really.
I just need people to play with me. I'm I'm not good, but I'm not rubbish.
There you go. You could any viewers watching this video send a DM on Twitter to our Twitter account, which Ian runs, and you can be like,
Yeah,
"I'll be your friend. I'll play Call of
yeah.
Duty with you." And Ian will be like, "Yeah,
I like to play objective game modes in multiplayer. So I play Hardpoint, which is basically King of the Hill. So you have to get an area, hold
yeah,
it, and then it moves to. If I'm playing that, usually 9 out of 10 times, I've got the most time on the hardpoint, the most defenses of a hardpoint, and usually top three like kills. And the
mm.
rest of my team will have like 5 seconds on the hardpoint, no defenses. And I'm like, why am I doing everything on my own? Like, I'll run to a hardpoint, I'll clear it out of enemies, sit there, and defend it whilst my team's across the other side of the map. I'm like, can you guys help? Just if you want to just play for kills, play team deathmatch. Don't jump on a. Oh, I could rant about it all day.
But they're probably playing it because they when they play team deathmatch, they can't kill anyone. So they play a game mode where it's not particularly about killing people, where they can kill more people because people are more concentrated on getting the flag points than they are killing.
Mm.
Maybe
Like,
that's
I
what it
don't
is.
mind if someone doesn't have any time on the objective, but they have a lot of defenses of the objective, then that's fine because I know they've got a good vantage point and they're stopping the enemy from getting it.
Yeah.
But if you've got zero defenses and zero time in the hard point, what are you doing? Get out of my lobby and go and play Fortnite. But yes, in terms of the next, oh, there's other game modes as well. So there's like a co-op single player mode.
Okay.
So there's like 3 missions. I haven't played it yet, but there's like three. I don't know how many missions are in each scenario, but there's like three. Modern Warfare 2, they had that mercenary. Was it mercenaries mode? Not mercenaries. I'm thinking Resident Evil.
I can't
They
remember.
had a survival mode, or there was a separate mode where you had challenges and you had to do each level and get like a certain amount of stars on each challenge.
I literally only really played multiplayer.
Oh, okay. Well, there's something like that. So there's like a multiplayer like challenge mode. Let's just call it that. I haven't played that. So that's another game mode. And then obviously they'll bring out Warzone 2.0 in the future,
Yeah.
which is a battle royale, which usually you can do solo, duos, trios, or quads.
And that's free.
That is free, I believe. The last one was free.
Okay.
But in terms of leveling up your guns to unlock other guns, I don't know how it's going to work.
It's pay to win battle pass scenario, yeah? Like
Uh,
Halo and Fortnite.
yes and no. There was a couple of guns in the last Warzone that they made overpowered because they had a new skin in the shop. So they'd get people to, they'll show people like, oh, this gun can kill you in 2 bullets. And look, we've got this nice shiny skin that changes colour because that's real.
Yeah.
And then people go, oh, if I buy the skin, I automatically get this gun and all its upgrades. So in a way, it is, but for the most part, it's not. But I've never bought anything from these online stores for skins because what's the point? It
No.
doesn't give you an advantage. I mean, sometimes it can accidentally, but looking like the guy from Saw isn't going to give you an advantage. It just means that if you're in a dark room, I'm not going to be able to see you because you're wearing all black.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even understand why it's called skins now. I'm like,
Oh,
oh, I've got this new skin on Fortnite. It's like it's Spider-Man. It's like, so you've unlocked Spider-Man. No, it's Spider-Man's skin. It's like, what? Why is
it's
it a
like,
skin and why is it just not the character these days? I don't understand.
who
Is
knows?
everyone secretly wanting to like wear other people's flesh or something?
Yeah, Fortnite has a lot to answer for But yeah, I would say it is if you're really into first person shooters, it is worth getting. And if you're like me, who doesn't get a lot of time, it's good to get because if you have 40 minutes of free time, you can bash out like 2 or 3 multiplayer games in that time.
Mm.
Whereas if I was playing a single player game and I had 40 minutes, that 40 minutes could all be taken up by a cutscene.
I need a game that's gonna make me play the Series X because obviously I've bought it and I was really, really excited for Halo, as was Sarah, and we both played Halo multiplayer, and it was just like, it doesn't really feel like Halo, and it's
It
got
doesn't,
a
does it?
weird battle pass thing, and it's just like meh. So then I need something to justify having it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I've literally not played it for weeks now. One, because I've not had a lot of time, but two, I'm just like, when I'm tired in the evening, I'll just be like, I could turn it on and play it, or I could go in bed, lay in bed and play my Switch, and I always just lay in bed and play my Switch.
Yeah, it is good. It will take if you haven't played Call of Duty in a while though, it'd take a bit of time to get used to, I think.
I did alright on the beta.
Yeah,
I
if
didn't
you've
do
gone
too
and
bad.
watched Luke's video on our channel of him playing the beta, it was
Edited out
like,
all his deaths.
yeah, just him laying on the floor.
Yeah, that's what I do. Don't mind me, I'm dead. Not really. Bang bang.
Yeah. So yeah, I would recommend it if you're a first person shooter fan.
Okay, I'll probably pick it up when I get my new TV. It's Black Friday over here soon, so I'll probably get a
Ah,
new TV that we desperately need, and yeah, probably just tack that onto it as well.
okay. Graphically it is really good.
Yeah,
So yeah, just put that
I'll
out
be like,
there.
it looks like a Switch game.
Yeah. No, honestly, like the cutscenes for the campaign are so good, like graphically. But graphics isn't everything, despite what some people on Twitter seem to think. So my recommendation is buy it if you can afford it.
Okay, I think I will. I think I've been convinced.
Okay. And then we'll just have to find a time when we're both free to play it.
Yeah, well, if you're up till 1 o'clock in the morning, that's fine.
Only sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'm
well,
too tired.
just let me know when it's one of those type of nights.
It's usually a Friday or a Saturday because I don't have to get up the next day for work.
Because what midnight for you is 7 o'clock
7 o'clock?
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all right. Get Freya in
Okay.
bed for around 7, and I can jump on.
All right.
We could play. I could play for an hour with you until 1 a.m. for you,
Yeah.
and then yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Right. Well, yeah. If you've made it this far, again, thank you. Get Call of Duty. Play with me. I need someone to play with. Please. I beg of you. Please help me. But yeah. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.